All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the In Conversation podcast. And this big old smile on my face is because of this particular woman right here, ladies and gentlemen. Sydnie Beason is in the studio.
Hello.
And we're glad to have you here, Miss Lady.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Absolutely, it was a must. Ain't no question about it. And I say that because not only are you a guest on the show and because you're a part of the In Partnership program, but you're actually like one of my executive partners on some
I know, right?
Some really major things that we're attempting to do and going to do for our city. You know what I mean?
Take over the city.
Listen, man, when an Aries and an Aquarius get together, do y'all know what happens?
Man, y'all not ready.
Yeah, I don't, but we're about to find out. We are going to find out. But enough about us. Let's just talk about Miss Sydnie Beason.
Oh boy,
you got a lot going on.
Man, it's been so busy.
You doing a whole lot, Miss Lady.
Oh my God.
You stay busy. Photo shoots, modeling shows. You selling juices and really trying to get us to get on our health game, and stepping into the role of a stylist, using that, and on top of that, you got family to take care of. Man. You know what I mean? You got godchildren and stuff.
Non-stop. It is truly non-stop. Man, I am... First off, I just want to say that I'm grateful. Everything that I've manifested is definitely presenting itself, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm blessed, and I'm just ready to keep going. But yeah, it has been very busy. Oh my God.
Well, how are you... Well, we're going to get into a lot of the things that you're doing, but as an entrepreneur, as a woman who has had so many different things that you just have to balance, because where you are right now, like you had took a major break for a little while.
Oh yeah.
And now you're back hitting the ground running. You know what I mean? How are you balancing all of these things that you're doing? Like, what's going on? What's the secret? That is so
crazy. Somebody just asked me the same question. You have to... Now listen, my brain don't work the same as when I was younger, so I have to write everything down or I will forget.
Right. And she's only like 19, so she's talking about when she was like...
Stop it. I wish. I'm actually going to be 30 next year.
Come on. Welcome to the 30 club. I'm on my way out, but y'all had y'all fun.
you got your foot out the door.
Yeah, almost. Couple more years.
Okay. But yeah, I've been just trying to like keep balance with making sure I get my rest. Even with being so busy, you have to make sure that you be like, okay, I gotta make sure I pump my brakes because you will burn out. And starting over from an empty cup is so stressful.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so stressful. So if you stop and it's half full, you be like, okay, it's time for me to take my time back. So I'm really big on my self-care, but also just like making sure when I write in my planner, I also put it in my phone because I actually hate my planner on my phone. Mm-hmm. I have to write things down. I know people think that's weird.
No, not every. It's a lot of people that agree with you. So.
I can't like reading on your phone. Like a book?
Yeah.
I don't like those people. Those people are psychopaths.
Well.
My sister calls me weird because she was like, how can you read a book? I'm like, open the book. Yeah, right. Turn the pages.
Like, how is that possible? Listen, a couple things about that is, one, I'm just now learning just how important sleep and rest
oh my
is.
God,
like
yes.
I know we need it and we got to at some point, but just how that is contributed or that's a contributing factor to a lot of early death. You know what I mean? And diseases for that matter. And another thing I just found out about was being grounded. And so when people just talk about, oh, you got to ground yourself. Like back then, I just thought everybody was just being fucking weird. You know what I'm saying?
Like ground yourself.
What are we talking about?
I'm standing on the ground.
Like and a part of me feels like that meant like knowing, and I think it did, like back then, knowing who you are and being centered, you know what I'm saying? But even then, it's like all this weird stuff, you know what I'm saying, that people are talking about, you know, third eye, evolving, becoming a better version. Who the fuck wants to do that? And so, but now, The whole thing about making sure your feet actually hit the ground. It's like a lot going on, a lot of information being distributed about that. Like a lot of us are getting diseases because our feet don't touch the ground.
Yeah.
Like they tricked us and made us have to wear shoes
Yeah.
and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then you just talked about calendaring, using your calendar, your planner.
Yes.
Has been a big conversation for me lately because time.
You are one of the busiest people I know. What do you mean you don't have a planner? You don't?
No, I have one.
Okay.
But the thing is, my planner doesn't always line up with other people's planner.
Yeah.
And so people have to reschedule.
Yeah.
And now, like, Tom be hit me on the shoulder like, bro, I think they disrespecting us. And I, and
Not
like,
the tap on the shoulder.
Like, so Tom, what you want me to do about it? So I've been having a lot of conversations with people like, we got to make our people get back into actually using their calendar. And I think that of all, like, there's a lot of people I work with, but you are one of like the top people who does a fantastic job at communicating. And now I think it's because you know how to use your planner and your
that's
calendar.
crazy because I think I really suck at communicating with people. Like I'll be like,
well, forget them. You know what I'm saying? You're great at communicating.
I thank you. I appreciate that.
House, and we appreciate that.
I appreciate that because I mean you have to respect other people's times too.
Yeah.
Like me running, a couple minutes late could mean you have to push out a whole appointment or whatever you had planned afterwards, and that's not fair to you or whoever the person is. So you got to be mindful, and I think humans forget to be mindful of other people's time.
Yeah.
So
we need aliens like you to remind us.
I told them to come get me because I'm tired of Earth. I did.
Man, listen, but I mean, you're just such a pleasure to work with, and that's just in the professional. I'm just talking only in the professional capacity. Personal is great too, but the professional capacity, you're such a pleasure to work with. That it's people like you. Yourself or Spitfire Shine, Jeffrey McAllister Jr., these type of people, like if you're running behind, it's fine. Like so we'll move the whole schedule around. You know what I'm saying? For specific people because you're so consistent. You know what I'm saying? And you're just a major helper. You've been helping people for years.
I have to. I don't know what it is. I love helping people. Like especially if you have a vision and you don't know how to bring it to life, we're gonna figure it out. Okay, let's write out a plan. Let's make a mood board.
Yeah.
What you want to do? Let's go cry for a little bit and then come back, and then we're gonna go back to the mood board.
Let's go frolicking.
We're frolicking.
Just to free our minds.
Let's come on. Let's go hug a tree. Whatever you need at that time.
So let's talk about modeling real quick.
Okay.
You are a model, and oh my God, just like actually good at it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
thank you.
People can be captivating something. Maybe it's them naturally, maybe it's their makeup. People can take nice photos. You just need a nice camera and a nice face, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And somebody who wants you to model their product brand, like that's cool. Like almost anybody can do it. In fact, we're in a day and time now where anybody can do it.
Anybody.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're not body shaming anymore. Beauty is no longer defined by the movie screen.
Absolutely not.
But if there was a standard, you exceed that every time, dude. It's like, okay, were there camera people in the hospital when you were born? Cause you just so great at it, G.
And it's so crazy because when I was younger, I used to watch America's Next Top Model. I couldn't walk in heels to save my life. It was like watching a baby deer be born and try to walk for the first time. It was really bad.
Yeah, I've seen Bambi.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, and my mom was like, you're not gonna be able to do it. And I'm like, okay. And modeling.
Mom? What?
No, she's very supportive of my work now. But, mom be like, pretty ain't gonna get you nowhere. And she's very much so right. Mm-hmm. What captured me is that I wanted to tell stories. Mm-hmm. And I love telling stories through pictures.
Yeah.
And movement, angles, like they all matter.
Cause you dance too. A little bit.
I ain't no professional dancer, but I love dancing. I actually wanted to be a dancer.
Well, we've seen a little something.
I've gotten way better because I had two left feet for a minute there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but telling stories, and people get different stories from each picture. Like, you may see something differently than somebody else, and I love that. Perspectives of art, because that's what it is. It's an art form. So I know a lot of people think like modeling is just getting behind the camera and taking pictures, but it's so much more than that. It's so much more, especially when you're modeling for somebody's brand. Like, that's their story. That's their entity.
And you've gone from modeling to actually being the one who's styling the shoot and putting the whole being the creative director of your own things. And so, like, before you stepped out to do that, were you kind of a part of the creative process with other people's shoots, or people maybe they were booking you? And
so I'm always been like on someone else's team helping out, and just watching how people work, studying. I love taking notes. I have notebooks everywhere in my house. And so just taking notes of how people run things and how I would want to do stuff. So this is my year of how I want to do stuff. Going into my 30s, this is me coming out as essentially the queen bee, and that's what I'm heading for.
What was kind of some of the first shoots that you put together, like, on your own, as the creative director and stylist?
So I actually started styling probably about 3 years ago. I did my first one, like, curated makeup, how I wanted the hair, the styling of the clothes, the photographer, the location, everything. And oh my God, I was so stressed out.
Really?
I was sweating. But I fell in love with the process, because when the pieces came together, it was like, that's my puzzle. Sometimes it should be like, it's a lot of work. I just want to get to the point, to the end.
Right.
And like, so you just living to go to goals?
You're right. Which, you gotta go through something.
You gotta go through some things. And I'm learning to love that. Like, even I've started becoming a gym girl. Yeah. And I used to hate going to the gym. I'm like, I just want to see the results. But I've actually fallen in love with, like, balancing myself and disciplining myself. That discipline I never had. And so learning that discipline has made me fall in love with the process of me getting to the better version of me within, like, my health.
Yeah.
So,
speaking of which, you're already in the medical field. And so you probably got some insight that most people don't have. You're very grounded and centered and around the goal of just being a better version of you, and especially with your health. And so now, here are these juices, and what I'm saying, is it just the juices that you're selling now? Or?
So actually, look at you, right on time every time. I am going to be taking, like, a herbalist class, because I want to start making herbal medicine to sell. I just actually made pain oils. They have to sit for a couple weeks, but I'm very excited for that. And not just to, like, sell them, but, like, I just really want people to, like, get into their health. Like, we don't have to depend on modern medication, because it wasn't there before. Yeah. We have all we need right outside.
Yeah, stay tuned. Listen, when it comes to the modeling and fashion, just that whole piece as an art form, Sydnie is one of the best. You know what I mean? Definitely at the top of my list.
Why are you always trying to make me cry?
I'm trying to make you cry, girl. I'm just trying to make sure they know. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to tap in. Follow Sydnie for real. You know what I mean? Like, if you're interested in some interesting pieces, whether it's clothing or whatever, you can follow her for that. But sometimes just to have some thought-provoking moments for yourself, there may be just some images and videos that you might need to go check out on one of her pages. If you're looking for somebody to motivate you and encourage you, she does all this gym stuff and yoga stuff, all this type of stuff. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is somebody y'all should follow. And then she has the juices as well. So you've been thinking about it. You've been trying to get into it. Or you might even know some people that do it already or whatever. But, competition. You know what I'm saying? Like, check out Sydnie. You know what I'm saying? Like let's saturate our community so much with positivity, and positive products.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And all of those things. And then like when she's doing a modeling show, go check her out. Go support her. Wear the "I'm Here for Sydnie" t-shirts that'll be coming in soon.
They'll be available soon.